This video, I'm going to be sharing with you that of the ascension that is happening right now on the planet. I'm going to be showing you how to make the shift into a higher level of consciousness and show you what you can expect over the next 10, 15 years or so. Welcome back to another episode. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what I know about the Ascension Timeline that is happening right now, sharing with you some things of some sources that I've been studying over the years. This kind of showed what can we expect from this ascension and this ascension in vibration. Think of ascension as a raise in vibration, a raise in vibrational state of consciousness. And what we're doing on the planet right now is we are moving from what is called a 4D level of consciousness into that of a more of 5D level of consciousness. Now, these terms are a little bit interchangeable because you can talk about dimensions or densities. They're a little bit of a debate as to the exact clarification, but they're just words. In general, we're moving from a level of separation, duality, into that more of a unified source of consciousness, understanding more about vibration and how to be on the timeline we prefer. So just to give this a little bit of context, I'm right now in Maui. I'll show you around a little bit. This is the Airbnb we're staying at. You kind of see, hopefully you can kind of see out the window right there. That's my view while I'm doing this video. And this is where I've been staying for the last couple days now, 4 or 5 days. And what I thought I would do is normally I would have taken a shower. I just filmed a podcast episode. Normally what I would do is I would take a shower, then get ready, and then do this. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get into it today, do something I haven't done in a while. And even if it means filming without a shirt on or something like that. So in general, when it comes to this ascension process, what is happening on the planet right now is that people are waking up to more of who they are. Because this is what happened. As a higher dimensional being, which is what you naturally are, you are a higher dimensional, you're a multi-dimensional being that exists in higher dimensional states of consciousness. And what you did is, if you're watching this video especially, you were aware of this before you came into your life, you decided you were going to forget who you are to then come into this reality, because that's one of the things about this reality is we have free will and we have this veil of forgetfulness. We forget who we are, so that we can then go through life experiences that feel very real, so that we can then remember who we are. And the light workers and starseeds on the planet, which means that we just are aware of this multidimensional aspects of us, have come here to wake up now and come here to go through this ascension. And this ascension is something that's been prophesized for thousands of years. And originally what happened is actually a long time ago in Atlantis times, we fell down in civilization. We fell down because we went more of what is called service to self. Meaning we started to use our abilities, which would be considered magical abilities today, things we could do with crystals and consciousness in general. We understood things at a very deep level. But we could use those in very manipulative ways. We could use it to harm someone else. If you didn't like someone, you could do something and it could hurt them. And that was something that caused a lot of negative karma. It caused a lot of negative things to happen. And over the course of a couple thousand years, eventually, it fell down in civilization to a lower place where it's even more dense, which you could call the 3D reality. And that was tens of thousands of years ago. However, now what has happened on the planet is we're moving back up. We have an option now to raise our vibration, to raise our vibrational state of consciousness, because in higher dimensions, you're able to do things beyond that of what you can imagine in this reality. We have time and space in this reality, but in higher dimensions, you may know this at a deep level. You can go within and see if this resonates with you. You are able to create things instantly. You're able to go different places very, very quickly. You are able to talk to other people telepathically without using words and sound, the way that we do here. And even now we actually do that a lot. 93% of communication is nonverbal anyways, even right now in reality, in the society that we live in. So these are abilities you had in higher dimensional states of consciousness. But what happens is we come here so that we can go through this process of remembering to then ascend our vibration back up. Now, here's the truth of the matter. The truth of the matter is you are creating your own reality, whether you are aware of it or not. Maybe some of it's on autopilot, some of it's just playing itself out. It's the negative patterns that you've been living. And here is the key to this whole process as well. This is what I wanted to talk about in this video. Because over the next 10 or 20 years, I believe it's going to be the most transformative time on the planet than ever before. There will be a falling down of old structures that no longer serve. Maybe a falling apart of the old government way of going about things. Maybe a falling away of old paradigms that don't longer serve. But upon that, we can then build. You think about it like a sandcastle. You have a sandcastle, and you can't just build on top of that sandcastle. You got to clear away the old one, the crappy one, and then build the new one on top of it. Well, that's what's happening and will be happening over the next 10 to 15 years. And the truth is, as well, we are multidimensional beings. We have existences more than just that of Earth. You as a soul are an immortal spiritual being living a temporary experience. And you have connections to different star systems as a soul. What we think of as scary ETs is actually far from it, because a lot of these ETs are other aspects of us, connected to us at deeper levels. So we've been conditioned, though, to be afraid of it. We've been conditioned to believe and be in the system of control. There is a certain level of system control that's been on the planet for thousands of years. It's called the financial system. It's called the news, the media, keeping us in lower vibrational states of emotion. Have you ever wondered why 99% of media online is negative? Well, it keeps you in the lower vibrational survival mechanism so that you don't question reality, you don't go beyond that of where you currently are. And how can you when you have to go to a 9-to-5 job where you get done, you work from 9 in the morning till 5 at night, you get home, you get the kids in bed, or you do whatever you got to do, and then eventually you go to sleep, you wake up the next day. You don't have time to question reality. You don't have time to really think about these things, because everything is made for that certain belief system that we've all bought into. Now, the key in this is knowing that we have bought into it as a society, and that now on the planet is a time of taking our power back. You know, when I went through my awakening in 2012, the first thing that happened is I became kind of angry, because I realized that people knew about this information. I was like, why do I know that I create my own reality, this metaphysical information, that's quantum physics, that's science? Why do I meditate and know that? Why don't they teach meditation in school? Why did I stumble upon this stuff through the pain of my past? Why did I come across this spiritual awakening like this? Why isn't it taught? You realize that at certain factions or certain levels, this information is known, but it is used in a way to keep us in a certain bubble of fear so that we don't question it, so that we stay kind of like cattle. We stay a part of the system. But you see, now on the planet, the reason we all incarnated here is to come into the system itself to help other people awakening, because the thing is there's free will here. So what happens is, in order for us to change this planet, we can't just land in our higher vibrational ships, land on the ground and say, let me help all of you and give you guys free technology, which has been around since Tesla, by the way. Let me give you all this free energy and all this free stuff and help you. Well, it can't happen because we have free will. So instead of doing that, we said, you know what? It's going to be kind of hard. I'm going to have to incarnate into the system. I'm going to have to forget who I am, but I'm confident that eventually I will remember who I am, and I will be able to have and help other people to wake up to who they are. So that's something that we all decided to do, is we all decided that we were going to go through that consciousness shift ourselves, that we were going to help other people wake up to more of who they are, to more of their own ascension vibration process. Everyone say hi to Lior. Where are you?
Hey.
Hi?
Hey.
You just get to filming a video?
Yeah.
How'd it go?
It was really good.
Okay, good. Happy to hear that.
Thanks for encouraging me.
Yep, you're welcome. I pushed her to make a video of something that happened yesterday with fear inside of, we went to this place called the Venus Pool on the road to Hana. It's this, one of the most beautiful rides in the country, or in the world. You do this ride, it's like a 30-mile ride, and then you get to this sacred pool. It's called the Venus Pool. And she pushed through one of her fears of being afraid of swimming in, like, with darkness underneath, and we swam across to the other side and back, and it was a very powerful metaphor for her, because she was able to let go of that fear.
Podcast.
Check out the podcast episode, yes. I'm sure you'll have a video coming out on it soon too. So in general, for this process, understand that you chose to come here. You had to incarnate into the system in order to influence it, because we have free will. As great as it would have been if we would have just incarnated, come into the system, as great as it would have been for us to actually just land and help society, we knew that that wasn't the way to do it. We had to come into the system to then raise our vibration and then to help other people. So the reason I tell you all this is you're a light worker. You're someone who came to be a part of that as well, because you wouldn't have perceived of this video if that weren't you. You can only perceive that which you are the vibration of. So understand that that's what you chose. Now, what is happening on the planet when it comes to ascension? This is an idea that I started to really understand recently, is our thoughts create our reality. At the same time, our collective thoughts, our collective beliefs create our collective reality. So our thoughts, our beliefs create our own reality. We have an energetic field around our body with emotion in it that controls and kind of directs our life. In the same way, we are all connected as a collective society. That is shifting us to collective timelines. Now, the power in people controlling the media and all of these things, this information that's been suppressed, is not that they actually have any power whatsoever. It's that they use the ability to influence the billions of people on the planet to creating their belief systems that keep them in a certain little reality bubble. They keep them in the lower vibrational states of consciousness, the lower vibrational emotions. So that is the power. It's not in them, it's in us. So the key in this is knowing that what has happened is there's been certain belief structures that have been put into play to keep people in that little prison, the prison of their own mind. The key to this, though, is breaking out of those beliefs, breaking out of the beliefs of societal conditioning, believing the world is bad, believing what happens on the news, believing that you must do X, Y, Z to get X, Y, and Z, whatever the collective conditioning is, transcending it and understanding that what's happening on the planet is a breakdown of the old belief systems so that we can then be in our own and create our own reality collectively. This is why the Maharishi effect is so powerful. The Maharishi effect is where they had 5,000 or something meditators, forget the exact number, people meditated on unconditional love and peace and world peace, and it decreased violence on the planet by over 70%. Think about that. Because the power of positivity is much more powerful than that of separation and negativity. Because positivity is integrative versus separating. So it's almost like the momentum compounds. But think about that. Collectively, we are ascending our vibration together. So for example, I came in here to share this information with people so that more and more people could restructure their own belief systems. That's helping a ripple effect. That's at least the intention. And in the same way, that's what's happening all over the planet. It's not necessarily just the ascension of the vibration in the way that we think it is. It's a breakdown of the old belief structure, the old belief system about what reality is, and it's a reestablishment of what we prefer to do. And us all focusing on positive timelines is going to be what shifts our planet in a powerful way. The ascension is about a breakdown of the old to reassert the new. So what are some things that we can look forward to with this ascension timeline? Well, some of you may know I'm a big fan of Bashar. Bashar is a channel. His name is Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar. He's been around for over 30 years. The information has been very, very accurate for over 30 years. He's very quick. If you see some of his channelings or some of the things he does, it's incredible how quickly and so consistent the message has been. But one of the things he said for about the last 15 years now is that the highest degree window of probability of there being first contact, which means the start of first contact, doesn't mean that aliens land on the White House lawn or that the news even covers it. But the beginning of this window of when people that are ready for it can have this kind of communication with ETs, or what we call ETs, which also are connected to us at deeper levels, will start and begin between the years 2025 to 2033. That's something that we can look forward to. But imagine how much has to change in between then and now. Because we must work through all of our own fears. What Bashar says will happen if a higher dimensional being walks up to you, higher dimensional being that is so integrated into who they are and such a high vibration, if they were to walk up to you, what would happen is every step they took closer to you would bring up within you any fear, any unresolved pain, any unresolved fear that you haven't dealt with yet to be dealt with so that you could be on the same vibration as them. And then what would happen is you would think it was them making you feel the fear, when in actuality, it's just the unresolved emotion and the belief system that is a fearful thing that is causing that. So it's more of ourselves that we need to integrate. So until that happens, we must integrate into ourselves. We must do our own shadow work. We must go within ourselves and transform ourselves from the inside out. So that's the key to this process of understanding that's something else. If you study Corey Goode, a cosmic disclosure, he talks about a solar flash. That's also something that's been prophesized in many different religions. Some type of solar flash event that has to do with the sun emitting a certain amount of energy that changes the cellular structure of our bodies. The sun itself is a transformative agent in this process and has been releasing solar flares for the last 20 years now. That's been changing the consciousness of the planet. But the area of space that we're moving through is so highly charged that it is transforming our consciousness from the inside out. And it will continue to do that more and more as time goes on. So over the next 10 or 15 years, we have a lot to look forward to. But we must do the inner work. One of the most programmable things in our society is the savior complex. We are looking for someone to save us. that has been wired into our collective consciousness through movies, through the media, through songs. You want someone to save you. We all want someone we would love higher dimensional beings to just land, to help us, to give us the free technology that's been around since Tesla but's been suppressed. We'd like for them to give us technology. We'd like for them to show us the way and to help us raise our vibration. We'd love for them to help us to clean up our earth, to help us to do things and to rebalance out our earth in a positive way. We'd love for it just to be handed to us. But that's programmed into our consciousness. The key, though, is that's not going to happen. We must be the change we wish to see. We must ascend our own vibration to then affect the planet. It's not going to happen where we get saved. Back in 2012, many people, including myself, thought that there was something going to happen that's going to save everyone on the planet. We don't need to be saved because we have the power to save ourselves. But we must tap into our own power, and you do that by getting to the core of who you are, by doing what you're passionate about, by understanding that there's something of value you can give to the world, by understanding that you can integrate your own shadow. You can do your own shadow work. You can integrate these parts of yourself that have been suppressed. You can allow yourself to feel what emotion comes up. You are part of the ascension. You going through this work is going to influence everyone around you, even at subconscious levels. You don't have to tell them, oh, this is the ascension. You don't have to say it. Just lead by example. Be in a high vibrational state, because that state will emanate and influence everyone around you. So this is the ascension that's happening on the planet right now. This is the ascension that will continue to happen on the planet. And over the next 10 to 15, 20 years, it's going to be the most highly charged time to be alive ever on the planet. And I'm excited to be here with you. I'm excited to be here sharing the process that I'm going through. Leor's excited to be here too. So we're going to get our day going, though. We got some stuff to do. I just wanted to make this video for you real quick and share with you some of the ideas that have been on my mind about that of ascension. We're going to go to a volcano, go to some beaches. It's sunny out today, so we're going to enjoy. We only have 2 more days here. Other than that, if you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, see Instagram right here. Follow her on Instagram too. What's your Instagram?
At Leor Alexandra. L-E-E-O-R. Alexandra.
L-E-E-O-R Alexandra. Mine's right here. You'll see it. And
_ Doughty 44.
that's it. And other than that, we'll be sharing more of this trip with you when we have Wi-Fi, especially is when we upload it. And other than that, I will see you on the next video. Appreciate you being here. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And other than that, peace, much love, and namaste.